to today's video. This video is long overdue and I'm probably the last YouTuber on YouTube to do this video, but I am sharing with you my favorite finds from 2019. I know it's like the end of January almost, maybe, and I should have done this a month ago, but it's crazy. I said in a previous video when my kids were home from the holidays, I just didn't get around to doing it, and then January has had some unexpected turn of events. But anyway, I'm here and I'm gonna share with you guys. I have a ton of beauty products in front of me. I'm only sharing beauty. I'm just gonna make this one video, and I really wanted to be selective. I wanted to find products that I really loved in 2019, but not only that I really loved, products that I discovered in 2019. So you might not see a product, you might not hear me talk about a product today that I've raved about for months and months, and it's because I've discovered that product like earlier than 2019, if that makes sense. All of these products are products that I discovered this last year that I love. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So without further ado, let's dive right in. I have a ton of products. So we're gonna start with the non-makeup products first. The first one is this hair mask by Colleen Rothschild. I feel like I don't need to go on and on and on about this because I feel like I've gone on and on and on and on about this in other videos and on Instagram, but this mask, you guys, is just the best. I have said it before, I loved the Oribe signature mask and I still love it. I think it's a great product, but I prefer this one. I prefer this one, and it's like half the price, if not less, because they always run promotions. So it's just amazing. That's all I'm gonna say about it. To piggyback on that hair mask, I love the hair serum that she launched with that mask. It's the Smooth and Shine hair serum. I put this on wet hair before I blow dry it. I don't put it on dry hair. I think that it would be too heavy for dry hair, in my opinion. I feel like it would weigh my hair down, but I love it. I apply it from about here down just so I don't get my roots too oily, because I like to go as long as I can without washing my hair. But these two products are fantastic. This is the conditioner that I use. I don't use this just as like a treatment once a week or once every 2 weeks. I use this pretty much every time I wash my hair. It is a heavier conditioner, so if you have really fine, thin hair, you might not love it for that reason. Or if you do use it, use a very, very small amount. But I love it. I just, like I said, I use this every time I wash my hair, and I probably, which is like twice, maybe 3 times a week, but I don't wash my hair every day. Every day it'd be too much, but every wash, if you're someone that goes, 3 days or so, I find it works, but I have thick hair, so there's my notes on that. Sticking with hair, I've got 2 more products to share. The IGK First Class Charcoal Dry Shampoo. I discovered this year from another, who was it? I think it was Suzanne's channel. If you don't follow Suzanne, she's fantastic. I love her and her husband, her family. I'm obsessed with them. But anyway, she talked about this dry shampoo and it's so good, you guys. It has charcoal in it. Charcoal is a really great ingredient to absorb oil, and that's exactly what it does. It leaves the hair looking like clean and fresh. There is one more product that I didn't bring up here. Darn, I should have brought it, although I think it might be being discontinued, so maybe that's why I didn't bring it up here. But it's a dry conditioner from Oribe. I will insert a picture right here of that. I heard a rumor that it was being discontinued. I don't know if that is true. If I can find it online, I will link it below. And if you can find it, I recommend buying like as much as you can of it because it is so good. But this is a great dry shampoo. It doesn't leave that white cast to your hair. It doesn't make your hair feel gritty after a couple hours like some dry shampoos do. I really have been enjoying that. The next hair care product that I discovered in 2019 that I love is the Oribe Cleanse Clarifying Shampoo. Now, I'm pretty sure I discovered it this year. I don't think it's been more than a year since I've been using this, but I wasn't using a clarifying shampoo on my hair before I started using this. I would go get my hair washed, and every time I would go to get my hair colored or cut, Gracie would always wash my hair. And have you ever noticed that when you leave a hair salon after they've washed and blow dried your hair, your blowout lasts like 4 or 5 days? And I found out that Gracie was using this on me to really remove a buildup of products, especially if you're someone that uses heavier products like this. It can build up on your hair. Minerals from your water can build up in your hair. A clarifying shampoo strips all that out. It gets rid of all of that. I don't use this every time I shampoo. That would be way too much. I use this like once every 2 weeks, every, I don't know, 7 washes or so. It just helps remove all that buildup from product, minerals, environment, dirt, oil, all that stuff. And then I use a regular shampoo. So this actually will last last me 6 months or so. 6 months before I go through this. So I love, love, love this product. That is all we have for hair. I have a couple of skincare products. The first is, without a doubt, I could not make this video. This was the first product I grabbed when I was planning this video, because this was probably my most loved product of 2019. It is the, how do you say this? Biologique Resurge P50 lotion. It's a balancing exfoliator. It's described as a lotion in the description of it, but it's more like a toner. It's like watery. This, you guys, was completely game-changing for my skin. Completely game-changing. Now, I did start seeing Laurel Corinne here in Austin, and I had a series of BBLs with her and dermaplaning, and I think the later half of last year I had the best skin of my entire life, and I do want to credit her for that. But this had a huge role in that, and she actually is the one who introduced me to this. This gives me a glow that is like nothing any other skincare product has ever done for me, you guys. The way that I use this is I apply this on like a gauze pad, and I actually press it into my skin. I don't wipe, I just press it into my skin, and then underneath my neck, or on my neck, and then right here as well. I would say after 2 weeks, I looked in the mirror and I wouldn't have an ounce of moisturizer on or anything, and it would look like my skin had just been moisturized, and it was so glowy and beautiful. I do think this also helped a little bit with pore size. It comes in different formulations, I think, depending on your skin type. If you have very sensitive skin, this might be a little too much. And I did kind of ease my way into using this product. I remember when I first started using it, I was told to wet a gauze sponge first, like get it with water and then put it on here, and use this every other night, and then kind of work my way up to doing it every day without water. But when winter came around, I felt like it was a little too strong. My skin was drier, and I did feel a little bit of irritation after using it. So then I kind of backed off, and I would do this every other night and use something more gentle and mild in between, like a serum that's just more gentle. I will say that I can't speak for the other formulas because I haven't tried this one. This one is the balancing exfoliator. That's just literally magic in a bottle. I can't say enough about it. Magic in a bottle. I stopped using retinol when I started using this as an exfoliator, so I didn't want to do too much to my skin. So fantastic. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, the next product is the Ulta MD Broad Spectrum SPF 44 Moisturizing Hyaluronic Acid Zinc Oxide Sunscreen. That's a lot of words right there. This is a tinted sunscreen. It really does, it doesn't give any coverage really, but it really does do a great job of evening the skin tone out a bit. It is moisturizing. I feel like it's hydrating. I can wear it underneath makeup. I can also wear it on days that I don't want to wear makeup. Maybe I'll put a little concealer and I'll put this on and I'll be good to go. I have experimented with a lot of Ulta MD sunscreens this last year. I used the one, I forget the name of it. They all have a similar name, but the one that was in a long tube and you squeeze it out, this one actually has a pump on it. I used that one and I liked that one. And then I also used the moisturizing one that came in a pump like this, and it had no tint to it, and I liked that one. But I have to say that this is probably my favorite. They're all great. You can't go wrong with them. So if you purchased one of those on a recommendation that I made 6 months ago and now you're like, what? You don't like? No, I do love those. I do love those. But I just like this one. It plays well under makeup. You can wear it alone if you don't want to wear makeup, and it has an SPF 44 and it's fantastic. I love it. I discovered the Tula primer, the face filter blurring primer, towards the end of last year, and I really love it. It's a very hydrating primer. It also can kind of blur pores a little bit. It has like the most subtle light reflection properties to it, so it gives the skin a little bit of a glow. I find that on days that I maybe applied my moisturizer in the morning, but I didn't get around to putting my makeup on right away, and I get up here to apply my makeup, this is a great primer because it kind of rehydrates my skin without being too much, without having my skin be too tacky or sticky from adding more moisturizer. I really, really love it. And yeah, that's all I want to say about that. It's a great moisturizing primer. If you have dry skin, look for a moisturizing primer. This one's great. Okay, I have several complexion products and I'm going to kind of go through them quickly. I feel like I have a lot more still to share. So let's start. How many foundations do I have here? I have four, kind of 4.5 foundations. You could kind of classify this one as a foundation. So let's start with the Wander Beauty Nude Illusion Foundation. And I kind of feel guilty because I don't know that I've even talked about this a ton in videos, but it is so beautiful, you guys. If you have dry, mature, textured skin, this foundation is just, it's so gorgeous. It is so gorgeous. It leaves the skin looking it has a very soft radiance to it. So it's not gonna be overly glowy or overly dewy. Sometimes when you find foundations like that, it tends to magnify texture, like pores or fine lines, all that. It can make it look worse. This is radiance without that. It actually does blur my pores, and it's so thin. Like the texture of it's really unique. It's very thin, meaning that a little bit goes a long way. You put a little bit on and you just blend it out, and it just like covers everything. The coverage, I would say, is natural to medium. I don't think you're gonna get full coverage out of it, but again, most of us don't need full coverage. The only complaint I have about it is the applicator. When you open it, you kind of have to like kind of wiggle it out. And I don't mind this applicator. It's actually really easy to apply, but I find a lot of times if you're kind of in a hurry and pulling it out like I am, it kind of splatters. So you gotta be careful with that. But the foundation's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Dry, mature, textured skin. Give it a try. If you haven't, you will thank me. I am the shade medium, so love that one. I also want to share the Dior Forever foundation. I think I've talked a lot about this one in videos. I have the shade 2.5 in. So this is a very long wear matte foundation. It gives medium to fullish coverage. It is, when I think of matte full coverage, I think of like heavy. This is not heavy looking, but it is a matte fuller coverage foundation. So it doesn't necessarily look like hydrated, healthy, glowy skin. You're not gonna get that from this. This is for the person that wants to put their makeup on in the morning and not even think about it or worry about it all day long. This is great for oily skin. This is great for people that live in humid climates. It's a really phenomenal long wear matte foundation. The other foundation that I would kind of compare this to is the Too Faced Peach Perfect foundation, which is a longtime favorite of mine. It's not in this video because I've been using it for a couple of years. The difference between the two, I think, is price. I'm sure this one is more costly, but also texture. This tends to be a little bit thicker in consistency, but again, it doesn't feel heavy on the skin. I've been wearing this a ton. I would say this is probably one of my most worn foundations in 2019. The next foundation is the La Mer Soft Fluid Foundation, you guys. I love it. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. It is radiant. It is long wearing. It is the perfect balance between glow and natural matte. I wouldn't describe this as a matte foundation or anywhere near that, but it's not really glowy or, it's so hard to explain. It is just beautiful. It has an SPF of 20. It's obviously very costly. This is the most expensive product I have in this whole video. I wanted this for a long time. I would say at least a year or 2 years I wanted this foundation, and I forget what drove me to buy it this last year. I think it was this Sephora VIB thing. And I had picked up so many samples before actually buying it, and I love it. It's just great. It's long wearing and radiant at the same time. So I think when you find something like that, that's something that's hard to find in my opinion, something that's radiant and long wearing. Now, I have to say this because I did do a video comparing this to the L'Oreal Pro Glow, and the L'Oreal Pro Glow is pretty much just as nice. But I didn't include the L'Oreal in here because again, 2019. I had to buy it or discover it in 2019, and this one I did. Okay, the next foundation is by number 7. It is the Custom Blend Foundation Drops. These are amazing, you guys. These will give you the most customized coverage or finish from a foundation. If you're looking for, the way this works is they're basically highly pigmented foundation drops. You can mix it with anything you want. You can mix it with another foundation if you really want full coverage. You can mix it with a moisturizer if you want a very hydrating foundation. You can mix it with a primer. You just can, there's really like no limits when it comes to using this product. You can mix 1 drop if you want it to be more sheer, 3 or 4 if you want more coverage. I was really impressed with this product when I purchased it last year and tested it. I think I have a video on it. If I do, I will link it, or I know I have a video on it. I will look for that video and I will link it in the description box below. I think I only talked about it when I did that video, and then maybe like it wasn't a favorites video after that, but I wanted to share it because I think it's such a unique and exceptional product that, yeah, I wanted to share it in this video because it deserves some more recognition. Okay, and then I have 2 products from Charlotte Tilbury. The Magic Foundation, I love. I discovered it last summer and it is beautiful. I would kind of compare it close to the La Mer, just a little bit thicker and a little bit more coverage. it's beautiful. It has an SPF of 15 in it. I purchased this over the summer with some other Charlotte Tilbury products, and it might have actually been the first like kind of Charlotte Tilbury purchase. Maybe I had a lipstick or a product here or there, but since purchasing this, I have really expanded my Charlotte Tilbury collection, and I think I should probably do a video on Charlotte Tilbury. I have not done a video. I would be curious to see if I have enough to do an entire video with her brand, because there are a lot of favorites in here from her. I don't think I've tried a Charlotte Tilbury product that I have not liked. Some I love and I feel like are worthy of this type of recognition, and some are just like, these are good, but I don't know that it's that, you know what I mean, that special. But I have not tried anything that I have not liked, so I think that's saying a lot. Okay, the next product that I think is so unique and so beautiful is the Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury, and I actually purchased this the same time that I picked up the foundation. This is a really unique product you can use. It's like a liquid highlighter, but it's very natural and subtle, and you can use it a few different ways. You can use it underneath foundation, you can use it on top of foundation, you could mix it with moisturizer and apply it all over. It just gives the most beautiful, like soft, pretty highlight. It's just so pretty. The way that I like to use this is I like to actually apply it before my foundation, and I will apply it on the high planes of my face where I want a little bit of a highlight, and then I will blend it in with my finger, and then I will apply my foundation on top of it. It gives a very soft finish. It's beautiful with the Magic foundation because the Magic foundation isn't like an overly dewy foundation, so it'll give you a little bit of that glow. It's also great to use with a matte foundation. If you are someone that likes matte long wear because it stays in place, but you don't want a completely flat look, you can add that highlight strategically where you want it and then apply your foundation on top. Okay, moving right along to the Charlotte Tilbury. I think I should mix it up. Let's come back to Charlotte Tilbury in a bit. This powder by number 7, the Lift and Illuminate powder, is so good. So good. I feel like if I had to pick my top like 5 finds of the year, this would be in it. One, because it's drugstore. It is on the higher end of drugstore pricing, but it's drugstore, and it is such an amazing powder. The reason that it is amazing, in my opinion, is that it has a little bit of color. So it's gonna, if you want a translucent setting powder, this is not it. If you are someone that likes a powder that gives a little bit of color, the tiniest bit of coverage, this is great. But what is so special to me about this product is it just blurs and smooths, pours out. I mean, you put it on and you're like, whoa, like where did they go? It's impressive, you guys. It's very impressive. Now, because it has pigment to it, it's described as being a translucent finishing powder, but I'm gonna kind of argue that. What was I saying? Oh yes, I know what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that because it has a little color, I would probably not touch up a lot throughout the day with this. I wouldn't use this, you know, 4, 5, 6 times, because then you're just kind of building and building and building. I would apply this, you know, in the morning, maybe touch up throughout later in the day, but it's not as sheer as some other touch-up powders. So if you have really oily skin and you find you're touching up a lot throughout the day, this might look a little heavy by the end of the day. If you are someone that likes a radiant, like you like to apply a radiant foundation and you want to set it, but then when you set it with other powders, it completely mattifies and takes away that radiance, use this because this will actually kind of keep that radiance there while blurring pores, and it's just beautiful. Okay, so moving right along, I want to share a brand that I discovered last year for eyeshadows. It's the Sydney Grace brand. Now I'm holding up their most recent palette, the Enduring Love, just because I want to talk about Sydney Grace and the quality of their shadows. It doesn't matter if you get this palette or you go on their website and buy individuals. You guys, the quality of these shadows is like, I mean, it is like out of this world. It is so good. I mean, they are so pigmented and beautiful. The finish is so easy to work with, easy to blend. You don't have to like layer and layer and layer. You're gonna get, and that's across all their formulas, not just their foiled, because these shadows are easy to do, I think. Not easy to do, but it's easy to see a beautiful, impressive payoff with foiled shadows. But I'm talking even their mattes. Their mattes are creamy and they're just great, you guys. And they're at a reasonable price point. I wanna say their single shadows are like $5 or $6. They come in a little pan. This is their most recent launch. It's the Enduring Love palette. I think they sold out of this like day 1, but I know she's gonna be restocking it. But either way, get on their site, look for shadows that kind of fit your preference, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. I promise. Okay, moving right along, this palette by Jouer, it's a blush palette. And it comes with 2 shades. This is the Adore Blush Duo palette. They are both matte shades, and they are both like a really soft peach. One is softer than the other. So you get a lighter one here and then a deeper one here. Even though this looks really light, like a highlight color, it actually has enough color to be a soft blush. If you have fair skin, this actually would be perfect for you. I feel like this blush palette is pretty versatile for like light, fair skin to kind of tan skin. The quality is great, really pigmented. It blends out really easily. It's a great everyday blush palette. I love this. I discovered this later in 2019. I think I got this like in November or December, and I love it. It's been my go-to blush palette since I purchased it. Okay, moving right along. I feel like I'm like winded here because I'm talking so fast. I just want to be respectful of your time and not have this video be 45 minutes long. The next product is by Charlotte Tilbury, and it is the Golden Quartz Color Chameleon Eye Pencil. I do love this color. I love it. But I'm really talking more about this product. So what this is this is like an eye crayon. You can use it as an eyeliner. You can use it as a shadow. It's a thick, chubby pencil. So if you use it as an eyeliner, just know that your line is gonna be thicker, right? It's not gonna give you a real thin, precise line. I do use this as a liner. I don't really use it as shadow. Sometimes I'll put it on as eyeliner, and if I feel like it's too thick, then I will go and kind of smudge it out with a brush, just so it looks like it was less intentional to be a line and more like a soft shadow. I guess I do use it as shadow. Really creamy. It just has really true rich pigment to it. Once it sets, it stays in place. It doesn't budge or move around a lot. I've been meaning to pick it up in other shades, but it's a really great eye crayon. Okay, I've got 2 Charlotte Tilbury products. I'm gonna breeze through them real quick. The first is the color corrector. And you probably haven't heard me talk much about this because this is more of a recent purchase. I got this in December, I think. You guys, this is such a great color corrector because you're not like pigeonholed into it only being a color corrector. It's not so peach. And again, depending on your skin tone, you may or may not use this one because it might be too light for you. But this is fair. It's number 1. She also has it in deeper shades. I like it because it is a great color corrector. It will cancel out darkness under the eye, and you can pair a concealer on top of it. But it also works great for me as a concealer alone, so I don't necessarily have to put a concealer on top of it if I don't want to. The texture of it is very like light. Like it's not, let me put it right here. It's not real thick and waxy like some color correctors can be. It's very natural and lightweight. I have been using this every day since I purchased it, and I really love it. Okay, moving to the next Charlotte Tilbury product is the Film Star Bronze and Glow palette. I got this last summer and I love it. So this can be used as a bronzer or a contour. I feel like it does have shimmer, which kind of goes against the whole contour idea because you want it to be matte, but the shimmer is so subtle. It's very subtle. It's not shimmery or metallic at all. It's very like light, very subtle. I would even just call it a sheen. It's a sheen. And it's not too warm. It's not too cool. I love it. I wear this quite often. It's either this or the Marc Jacobs bronzer for me lately. Next, I've got a couple of lip products to share. The first 2 are both by Persona Cosmetics. One I have on right now, it's just this kind of sheer-ish gloss in the shade Peach. I love her lip products, you guys. They smell fantastic. Oh, it smells so good. I love the applicators because they're like flexy and bendy, and it's just so easy and comfortable to apply. I love it. It feels great. It smells great. It's got just enough color, but it's also sheer enough, making it a great gloss to either wear on top of a lipstick or wear by itself. It's probably my favorite gloss formula at the time. I put this right next to the Milani and the Marc Jacobs. Those 3, Persona, Marc Jacobs, and Milani, are my 3 favorite lip glosses, so I love that. I also want to share her liquid lipstick. I have this shade Flamingo. It's a matte lipstick liquid, of course. It's a very comfortable liquid lipstick. It's long wearing because it is a liquid matte lipstick, but not always, but I have found some of the original formulas in the liquid lipsticks, they either are too pigmented. I feel like a liquid lipstick that's it's very matte, right? So it just is not very forgiving. I almost want it to be rich in pigment, but not too thick, because some of them, I feel like the Anastasia Beverly Hills one I'll put on and it just looks so strange to me. I don't know what it is. It's just too thick, too much color that it just looks like, I feel like all you notice are like these lips talking, and I don't like that. I like this. It has a lot of pigment. It's not that it doesn't have pigment. It has a lot of pigment. It's not sheer, but it's very lighter weight. great, very comfortable. When it dries, I don't feel like it looks like, you know, you can see every line in my lip. It's just a comfortable, long-wearing liquid lipstick. I'm gonna leave it there. I was just trying to kind of verbalize how it's different from others that I've tried, but it's really, really nice. I also wanna share this lipstick. It's by Marc Jacobs, and the shade is Sonic Truth. It is just such a great kind of muted pinky nude shade. I'm going to show you guys how it swatches on my hand. Of course, lipsticks are so personal. I love this one. It works really great on my lip color and my skin tone. I find that it's just the perfect kind of softer muted nude. The formula is nice too, but I'm particularly talking about the shade. I think I got this in New York a few months ago when I was there, and I love it. I've been wearing it ever since. It's just a really great muted nude because it's not too cool or gray tone. It's beautiful. It's just a beautiful muted lip. Sometimes finding a muted nude lip can be challenging because you put it on and feel like it's just like, oh, I need some color. This one you don't feel that way, and but you still get that same look, if that makes sense. Really like it. The next is a clear gloss that I received in PR from M Cosmetics. I got away from using clear gloss. The last one I can remember using and liking was the MAC Lip Glass back in the day when it was in a squeeze tube. It might still be in a squeeze tube, but that one was really thick. This one is like, I'm gonna put it on top of a gloss, which is kind of hard to tell, but it makes your lips look wet, like glass. They're so nice. And just like the Persona, it has a really nice, flexible little tip, really comfortable. It has this really soft scent to it. What is that? It's sweet. Is it vanilla? Coconut? I'm not sure. It smells really good though. I really like it. I wear it on top of color. I also wear it by itself. I really like it. I just want to share that because I think it's a really good find this year. Okay, we are almost done, you guys. I'm wrapping up. I want to share the Magic Liquid Concealer by Charlotte Tilbury. I love this concealer. It's more of a natural, lighter concealer. So if you are someone that likes the Shape Tape or a thicker full coverage concealer and you don't like a natural or concealer, you're not going to like this because it's not anything like that. It is much lighter weight. It's much more sheer. I do have some complaints about the packaging. I find this lid like so difficult to close. It is so difficult. I just don't like the packaging of it. It's pretty, but I don't think it's really functional. But it's great for days that I feel like there are some concealers that you can wear on days that you don't want to wear foundation. Like they are natural enough to where you can blend them out and it kind of blends into the rest of your skin without having to put foundation on, right? Shape Tape is not one of them. Heavier concealers don't work that way, but more natural ones, you can do that. So this is great for the days that you want a lighter face. Maybe you don't have a lot to cover under the eyes. You can also build it up. I use this over the color corrector sometimes, and it's like kind of perfect when I want more coverage. But I've just been finding myself really grabbing this concealer quite a bit last year. I want to share the Glossier Boy Brow with you guys. I discovered this last year and I really love it. It is a great brow gel because the size of it is perfect. The shape of the wand and size of the wand is perfect. It allows you to get pretty precise with it. I use the shade Brown and it's great. I can wear it on days that I don't want a pencil in my brows, or I can wear it along with a pencil if I want more definition and a deeper shade to my brows. I also love the Benefit Gimme Brow. Those two are kind of my favorite brow gels, the Benefit Gimme Brow and this one. The difference between the two is the Benefit Gimme Brow has like little fibers to it, so it actually builds some volume to the hair. However, I don't feel like it's a brow gel that's pigmented enough that I can wear it alone. Does that make sense? I feel like that's a brow gel that I have to always go over with a pencil, where this one is kind of either or. Really like it. The last product I want to share that I discovered in 2019 that I'm really loving is the Coke & Dough Natural Lighting Powder, Loose Powder, Setting Powder. I really love this powder. I purchased this one last year. I also purchased the La Mer. I really like the La Mer too, but if I'm being totally honest, I think that they are equally as good. And this one is, they're both expensive, but this one's less expensive. I really like it. I also tried the Aqua Foundation last year, which I loved. I didn't want to put it in this video because it's not one, when I purchased it, I wore it a lot, but I've kind of gotten away from wearing it. I think if you have dry skin, you might love that Aqua Foundation. It is a very beautiful hydrating foundation that wears long, but it's one that I loved when it came out, and for whatever reasons, it's not like it's not like I stopped liking it. I still like it, but it just wasn't one. I wanted to be selective, even though I just mentioned like 100 products to you guys. I wanted to be a little more selective of products that I just really, really love, you know, that I really, really love. And that is it, you guys. That is my best in 2019 video. These are all the products that I purchased and discovered last year that I love and I highly recommend. So thank you guys so much for sticking through this video with me. I'm sure it's going to be close to 30 minutes long. Thank you for being patient and waiting until like March. No, not really, but thank you for waiting for me to get this video up and be patient with me in, you know, all my wacky upload schedule. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much. As always, I hope you guys have a fantastic day today, and I really hope that I will see you in my next video. Hit the subscribe button, bell notification, all that stuff. I never mentioned that, but I probably should, because I think YouTube does funky things and you don't really see sometimes when I upload videos. All right, you guys, I'm gonna stop rambling and I will see you guys later. Bye.